Welcome into a special edition of Rebound Off the Net as we preview the Oregon Lightning's 2025 season. I'm your host, Joshua Cox. The Oregon Lightning enter their inaugural season as a franchise. They will play in Bend, Oregon, and will compete in the West Division with the Billings Outlaws, Arizona Bandits, and Washington Wolfpack. They'll be led on the field by head coach and co-owner Chuck Jones. Coach, it's good to see you back. I know it's been a long journey back after everything last season. How does it feel to be back at it and hopefully in a better situation this time around?
You know what? It feels normal to be back, be back on it because, I was out of sorts there. I felt like I lost my best girlfriend or something, my first girlfriend, excuse me. I put so much into that last team, and it got snatched, and I had nothing, I couldn't do anything about it, so it feels good to be back and moving in a positive direction with a program that has local owners, not out of state owners and people who are as committed as I am.
Absolutely. When the season was cut short last year, y'all were 3-0, and you ever sit around and think about what if you all would have finished that season?
I always think about that. I went to the Arena Bowl, flew out to New Jersey to catch that. And I was glad to see Coach Said win it. And it was just I couldn't help but think that whole time, like that's my team out there. There's guys from my team on both teams.
Yeah.
So it was unfortunate what happened. But it was just bad leadership, and I can't say much more about that. But I did dwell over it a lot. It took me a couple weeks to just get back to normal, man. Because when you put that much passion and heart into something and build it from scratch and do it by yourself, I had help with my buddy Jesse. But besides that, me, Jesse, and Ash, the cheer coach, we built that thing from scratch, the three of us, and we just had it taken away from us. And it was a lot of heartbreak, man. They left us high and dry, basically, and our community suffered for it, and I'm hell bent on making that right in the community, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm really excited about what we're doing right now, man. We are coming out strong. We have a good media presence, a good social media presence, and we're working hard as hell. Can I say hell? Sorry.
It's good to have you back. Tell us a little about your playing and coaching background. Tell the fans out there a little bit about that.
Oh, well, I played for so long, 12 years, 13 years or something. I played all over the country, arena football, Kansas City, Spokane, Everett, Seattle. I played in Bakersfield, played in LA. I mean, you name it, dude. I love this game. I played in Oregon for the Oregon Storm in Redmond, Oregon, and now with the Oregon Lightning. I finished up my career there. Came out of retirement after not playing for 8 years. Coach Keith Evans hit me up and asked me if I still had something in the tank, and I missed football and I didn't have as much fun since the last time I played it. I went to University of Kansas, played college football there. I played my senior year at Portland State University. Still hold the sack record up there. All these years later, I'm old now. I got the grades kicking in, but I'm representing. And I've been up and down this game. It's a passion that I got for it. I live for it, and I'm glad to pass on my experience to these young players and hopefully get them a shot at the next level.
Tell us a little about kind of your co-owners and starting up the Oregon Lightning there. How did this come together?
Oh well, Sarah and Jay and I have been friends for 20 years, and they've watched me play all this time. And I always said, we should just get us a team, you know, and it's always like that. And I just always figured that I would end up doing something in arena football. And after what happened last year, they seen what it did to me, but they also seen how hard I worked and they supported me. And the Oregon Storm, which is what the team used to be out in Redmond Bend there, I was speaking with the owner, Chris Reynolds, the former owner, and he's a good friend of mine. And you know what? He made it possible. He said, give me an offer for the team, and I got together with Sarah and Jay, and, they were on board. They know how hard I work. They're two hard-working people as well. So we're like a three-headed monster. It made sense. So we're just dividing and conquering this whole thing and building this program, and here it goes.
Yeah. You're going to be in Bend. Tell us a little bit about Bend. And I think I joked with you on social media. You're there. The world's last Blockbuster is there. Is that going to be one of the official sponsors of the Lightning?
You know what? I'm working on it. I sure did reach out to him, because I just love that place. The nostalgia when I go in there. I remember my mom used to take us in there on Friday nights, let us choose a video game, let us choose a movie, and it was a great time, So being able to take my kids through there, they don't get it yet, but it was really great, man. I just love that feeling of nostalgia, man. I'm a 80s baby and I just love that. So I'm definitely trying to get Blockbuster on. If anybody is listening, hey, Blockbuster, we want to partner with you. All right, so I'm gonna keep on calling y'all.
Tell us a little about the Bend area, just kind of the community there.
Bend is a beautiful place. It's like one of the fastest growing places in the states, actually. I mean, you got the mountains. It's like driving through a picture. I always say that because it's so beautiful. The landscape, it's really clean. The people are super nice. Redmond, Oregon is a city that we actually play in. So Bend and Redmond are like cousins. They live there right next to each other. And I mean, the people in Central Oregon, period, they're nice people. It's a homey feeling. It feels sort of like that, what they call it, that Southern hospitality, but it's only in Oregon. And it's just a beautiful place. The support has been great for us. We have a lot of people coming out the woodworks to support the team. They want to see this thing last, and so do we. So it's a great place. I would suggest anybody visit. I mean, it's just so beautiful. It's serene out here, and it's super peaceful.
Tell us a little about the origin of your team name and logo. How did you come up with those, and what was the story behind those?
Well, we were powwowing about what the team should be called. We were going to call it the Oregon Storm again, a revamped version, but there's a Southwest Kansas Storm, So we had to come up with something different. I thought that the Lightning be right on point. And Terry Emmer, who owned the Portland Thunder, that gave me a little influence, So I'm like, well, maybe we'll just be the Lightning. And Jesse Warren, our player personnel guy, he was like, our mascot should be Sasquatch. And we're like, dude, that's clever. I mean, it was perfect. So he suggested it, and then Jay came up with Squatchum. And I mean, hey, we're off to the races with it. It was a great idea. And, we're all about Squatchy up here in the Northwest, He out here somewhere.
What are your expectations there for the franchise in year one?
You know what? We are a sleeping giant. We went out, we recruited hard. We don't have all of our guys. We got a few more to pick up, but the guys that we have, we're very happy with. We don't have big name guys per se. We got guys that played all levels from Division One. I got a guy out of Kansas State, a guy out of Ole Miss, all the way down to NIA. And we got D2 guys, and there's a lot of guys who can play, man. And these guys are ready. They're anxious. They're grateful for the opportunity, and that's where it starts at. When you get a team full of guys who's grateful to be there, you're onto something. We have some veterans that's been around for a while. They're going to also help us out, but just having that new blood out of college is also going to help us out. My expectation is to win. We are the smallest market, but we're going to make the biggest punch, man. We're going to do great things. I'm really happy with all the players that I have. These guys are coming in here on February 23rd. We start camp on the 25th, and we're excited to get going because we're going to shock this league. We're going to surprise some guys. We're not going to be easy, and you're not going to walk over us. And I'm just saying that right now for everybody to hear.
You coming for Cedric Walker and Billings?
You know I am. I played for Ced Walker for 3 years. I was his enforcer on that line. You better ask him. He used to be like, "Give me that ball, Chuck." Like, "Yes, sir." I love Ced. I have tremendous respect for him. He's a mentor of mine. I just call him. I ask him questions. He always makes time to take my calls. I just love that guy. And I love his success and, what the program and what him and Titus are doing up there in Montana. We're definitely trying to replicate that down here in Oregon, have a successful program. But we also trying to knock them out the box.
Yeah, talk about the rest of your, talk about Louisville Billings there. Talk about the rest of your division, Arizona and Washington. What do you think about the rest of your division? I know I talked to J.R. Wells recently, and he told me he owed you an ass whooping. So
Hey, he feel like it. You know what? I just talked to JR. That is my guy. That's my brother from another mother, man. And we just talk trash to each other. But I'm coming for him. You know, we're gonna knock him out the box too. Arizona, is to be seen. I really think that they're gonna have a problem coming up here on March 15th. You know, they got great players. They got Spicer, who played for me last year, a tremendous player. They got some good things going on, but can they gel? All right. What are they going to do? What is their attack? Because you have to have a hell of an attack plan to come in here and beat us, especially in Oregon. And I'm standing on that.
yeah, it's going to be a fun division to watch this year. So
It is. It is.
if
West, y'all.
you want to introduce us to the rest of your coaching staff you got there.
So I came back with my same coaches because they're just great. We click, and we just know each other. We learn each other, and we work together. We got Joe Salvador, my wide receiver coach. But basically, he's a wide receiver coach. He's a utility coach, man, because he's a guru. He could coach anything. We coached together in high school for years, and he's just one of the best football minds I know, period. The guy is super smart, and he's an educator, and he works really hard. He got work ethic. We were born on the same day, so, you know, we kind of got that same tenacity, and I just love the guy. So that's Joe Salvador. We got Delvin Miles back. You know, he had a really long career in arena football. He probably played longer than I did. And, I mean, his knowledge that he brings to the game is just tremendous. Man, he got that secondary going. He's going to serve as our defensive coordinator, but his specialty is in the secondary. And then we got Brandon Tate. I call him the cheat code. This guy does the stuff that nobody sees. And those are the guys that help you be successful. Brandon Tate, he was the Tri-Cities Rush head coach in the AWFC. He's won over 40-something games. He's probably lost 2 games since he's been coaching. And this guy works really hard. He knows the game in and out. He knows how to read defenses. And he knows how to make defenses confused. This guy is a guru. And we're glad to have him. So that's my coaching staff.
That's great. Yeah, we're going to dig into the roster here in just a second. But before we get into detail, what was you looking for as you went about building the roster this year?
I was looking for guys that had work ethic. I don't really like watching highlight films, you know, because anybody can take all their great plays and put them on a film, but I like to dig into it. Let me go find a game, like for a receiver. Let me see what you're doing when you're not catching the ball. Because like I said last year, no block, no rock. If you can't block nobody, we're not throwing you the ball, period. I like to see if guys are taking plays off, and what I was looking for was good character guys, guys that you could put in front of a camera, guys that you could put in front of a classroom, guys that you could put out there in front of the community, and they do a great job. I was looking for model guys, and it's hard to find because, you know, I've had to pass up on some great players, but their character wasn't right. Cedric Walker will attest to, I was one of those character players once upon a time. I really was, and just, you know, I'm just turned off by it, you know. I like guys that know the difference between working hard and being fired up and just being damn ignorant. You know, we have a image to keep and protect here, and we're putting the best product out on the field. So I'm just looking for those type of guys with work ethic because I work hard as hell, so you got to work hard. And then those guys that pay attention, follow directions, and guys who are focused on football and getting out of here, not guys that are focused on everything else or where the party is at.
Yeah. Let's dig into the roster. Let's start the quarterback position. Now you got Keegan McCormick and Matthew Loney. Tell us a little about the quarterback position.
Oh, so you got Matt Yanni. He played Storm for the Storm with us. You know, took the team to the championship. You know, he didn't go to college. We got that out of a workout. And you know what? He came through this open tryout that we had, and he just destroyed it. He came and showed tremendous skills. You can see that he's been working on his craft. And then we got Keegan McCormick, played in Germany. He's from Detroit. He's a D-boy. The guy is just smart. I'm excited to see this guy go. You know, I know he's going to do some great things here with us. We also have Colin Anderson. He's a 6'8 quarterback, 6'7", 6'8", out of Durham, North Carolina. I found a diamond in the rough. So the quarterbacks are going to have a nice little competition going there in camp because we got 3 good quarterbacks. Any one of them could end up on top.
Let's go to the fullback position. I know a lot of people's been listing running back, so that position's kind of in flux a little bit. How do you feel about that position, and what are you going to do with that position?
You know what? I got a few guys. We got Ethan Skarmis. Now, he played for Washington Wolfpack on the line last year. But this guy came to our open tryout. He threw up to 225 38 times, so now I just call him 38. The guy tested so well. He's so fast. And, we're thinking about throwing him in there at that fullback and linebacker position, and letting him do what he has to do. He has tremendous feet. He can block. He's super fast for his size. And he's just a great player. He's a guy that you want on your team because he's going to raise the morale of the other guys. We got Marquise Sampson out of Western Oregon. He actually played at the high school I teach at. But he played at Western Oregon, went to Germany, broke their rushing records. So we got him coming out that backfield. He's a little guy, but he packs a punch. Super fast. We're really excited about him. We have Joshua Curry out of Florida A&M. He'll be also serving as as a fullback linebacker. This guy is what we call an athlete. He could just play everywhere, wherever you put him at. He like to think he could play quarterback, but we ain't playing like that.
Yeah. Let's go to wide receiver. Chris Lewis, Maurice Ashley, Jordan Pouncey out of Florida, Blake Davis, James Harden, not to be confused with the basketball player, and Tyler Cooperwood. Tell us about the wide receiver for us.
Jordan Pouncey got moved up. He signed a max contract to go to Germany. So,
Oh, wow. I didn't see
we
that.
wish him well, because that's what they're here to do. They're here to
Mm-hmm.
get the hell out of here. They're not here to stay here, right? That's what we want to do. So he's out. But if something happens over there, we'll always take Pouncey back, open
Yeah.
arms. He's one of my favorite players I've ever been around playing or coaching, and the guy's just a class act. I just love him. Now we got Chris Lewis. He started his career with the Oregon Storm, and then he's went on to play for many different indoor teams. Now he's coming into his 4th year. He's a seasoned veteran. They call him Uno de Uno, one-on-one. You cannot block this. You can't guard this guy. I'm looking for Chris Lewis to take lead and do some big things. He wear number 1, wide receiver 1. He's the guy. Maurice Ashley, he played for me. He's out of Boston. And he played for me when I was my first year as a coach for the Oregon Storm. He was our number 1 receiver. Maurice goes hard, man. We call him Mo. And Mo, just his work ethic is just unmatched. The guy works hard. He's just like Tate in the sense of a player. He does the stuff that people don't see. He's out there working out when nobody's working out. He's running routes on air. He's trying to throw the ball to himself. I mean, this guy works hard. He's a great player. Tyler Copperwood, Coop, he went to my high school, Long Beach Poly. So, I know the foundation of him, which is one of the things that made me super interested in him because, you know what, his foundation is the foundation I grew up in. So I know he's a damn dog. And he came out and he showed out. He did a great job for us, so we signed him. He played at the University of Utah. And, he's just a tremendous asset to the team. One guy who isn't listed, we have a guy named Cam Harvey, 6'8", wide receiver. He's going to be our jump ball guy. We just signed him yesterday. I'm really excited about him. His father played for the Lakers and the Clippers. And so, the boy could jump. He got natural athletic ability, and we're excited to have him in there.
Let's go to the lines. I know you got a lot of guys, it looks like, on your roster going to play both ways. So tell us a little about them 2 lines, if you would.
Man, up front, man, we're looking good. I'm excited. We got our guy, Big Mike, James Hines. This dude is a monster. His film was crazy. It's just all pancakes. It looked like an IHOP. I mean, this dude was just flat backing dudes, throwing dudes over the walls, and then he happened to live in Bend. So we had to get him. He was local. He's a great addition to the line. We got Raekwon is another player coming out of Florida, I believe. And we just signed him. He's another 6'4", 6'5" guy, 330, just a bruiser out there, played overseas. and we were blessed to just land him. We got Walt Harris, another guy who is just a damn player. So he's going to be playing O-line for us. He's a great addition. We got Kevin DeShields. He's our nose out of Delaware State. Not only does this guy got a great personality and a great attitude, he is a monster. He's one of those guys that'll smile at you and then put you on your back on the field, and probably help you up after kicking your ass all night. He is a great player. We're really, really excited about him. And then we have another 6'6" defensive end named Caleb Wells. We call him Stretch. He did a little stint up in Washington with the Wolfpack last year. And he's from Portland, so he decided to play for the home team. And we're really excited about what these guys are going to do up front.
Let's go to the linebacker position. Tell us a little about the linebacker position.
Oh, so we have a linebacker out of Redmond, Oregon. He's one of them. His name is Dakota. And Dakota, is as country as they come. The whole chew in the mouth. And it's like, where did he get that accent from? He in Redmond, right? The guy is a hard worker. He's a craftsman. I mean, the dude does his thing, and he played for me a little bit for the Oregon Storm, and wherever that ball is, he's there. Once again, we're going to be throwing Ethan back there at that linebacker position. And then I have two linebackers that I'm looking at, and hopefully I can get them guys signed, and that's to be continued.
That's good. Let's go defensive back. I know you got Trey Kingsland back there, Darren Bowles, Jatton Roberts. Tell us a little about that defensive backfield.
Man, that defensive backfield is probably our super strength, man. We also have Nicholas Brassel back there. He played for me last year. Comes out of Ole Miss. And he plays like an SEC guy. The dude is just everywhere on the field. Jatan brings a lot of tenacity to the field. He's a tall corner, but he'll probably be playing jack linebacker for us in this game, as well as Kiaris Arley, who was our Defensive Player of the Year in the AWFC. He's coming back. We got Darren coming out of Kansas State. You know what? I'm excited about this kid because, he's a grown man, but I'm old, so he's a kid, right? But I'm excited about him, man, because this guy has a great attitude. He has great physique. The guy can move. He can sniff out that ball, and he can help us back there in the secondary. And then we got Trey. Trey is a rookie. He has some roots with Coach Miles, my defensive coordinator. And you know what? He said, we got to bring this kid in. He's from Midland University. I love his film. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he does for us. Back there in that secondary, it's going to be really, really competitive because all of them are good. We're going to be a problem back there because in this game, the secondary being the best position is not a bad thing because if they can't score, they can't win.
Yeah. Defense is underrated in arena football. Tell us, last position, kicker position. Tell us about your kicker, Coach.
Well, I actually landed a 2-1. So Ethan Skarmis, once again, I love this guy. The dude kicking 50. He's kicking 50-yard field goals. I mean, so yeah, I'm probably going to still bring in a kicker. But you know what? If I could get away with getting an extra lineman or something and having him be a utility, like kicking and playing fullback and linebacker and D-line, I mean, wherever we need this guy, he could play. I mean, so yeah, we've dodged the bullet on that one. We might not have to bring in a kicker, but I'll probably bring in a legit kicker anyway, somebody local. Bring in our boy Zach out of the University of Oregon. He kicked there, and then he kicked for the Storm back in the day as well. So, I'm tinkering with it, but our kicking game is going to be good. We put a lot of emphasis on special teams. That's where games are won and lost. Guys who take special teams off lose close games, and we're dialed in on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Last question for you, Coach. Two-part question. One, if I come to an Oregon Lightning game this year, what will the atmosphere for a fan be like? And two, what is your message for your Oregon Lightning fans?
Man, the game is going to be electric. We got these seats on the floor. Somebody might end up in your lap. We put in a beer garden for standing room. So there's going to be a lot of energy right around the field. And then as far as in the stands, excuse me, every seat is a great seat. There's no bad seat in the house. So that's what I love about this arena. Fans can expect big hits and a lot of energy. We're going to do a lot to put on these great events. because they're shows. You know, you're putting on the show, you're putting on entertainment. We're going to make sure the halftime shows are great. We're going to get fans involved during timeouts. We're going to run raffles. We're going to give away merch. We're going to give away footballs. I mean, we're going to make sure that the fan experience is a great one, an interactive one. And then, of course, after every single game, they get to come out to the field, meet the players, and we'll sign all of that stuff that they got.
And message for the fans out there, just for your fans in general.
Come see us. Bring your families out. All right, it's a great time for your families. It's cheaper than going to a movie. I just went to one yesterday, and it was crazy. It was 4 of us. And what I'm saying is this thing is going to be electric. It's the most exciting thing going on in our area, and we'll love to have you. Bring your families out. We promise you'll have a good time.
Absolutely. Coach, I've really missed your energy. I'm glad you're back, and I appreciate the time tonight, and we'll talk down the road.
All right, man. Thank you for having me. You have a blessed night.